Hello? 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 I actually do need to. I was watching some of my VODs recently. I didn't notice, but I've been peaking my mic recently. Hello. Hello, Nero. Hello, hello. My mic has been peaking. So I'm gonna turn myself down on this side. Then honestly, for the first time in a while, I'm actually gonna listen to myself on my stream monitor. Yeah. Let me see. What do I sound like? Is this okay? Is this okay? How about now? Now I'm just talking quieter since I'm closer to the mic. Okay, when I talk like this, okay, so in OBS, when it starts getting into the red zone, that's when it starts to peak. Like this. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, that's peaking. So yellow is okay. Yellow is okay. And then anything lower than like yellow is actually a bit too quiet. Hello, Ash. Hello, Ash. Alright, now I'm confusing myself because I can hear myself twice. But the self that I'm hearing right now is 3-second delayed, which is freaking me out. Okay. So, how is everyone doing today? I'm gonna get started. Let me recenter myself. I can no longer stand up using my standing desk upon recommendation of a real medical doctor or a DPM, doctor of podiatric medicine. Because as it turns out, I'm a big dummy. So I pulled a muscle at some points, and then I pulled a tendon in my foot, and then just decided to tough it out and keep running on it. You know what? Who would have thought? It's not good for your foot. It is not good for my foot. So it's been about a month. And so the doctor was like, "You're lucky you're young." Otherwise, this would have gotten like pretty bad. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I am still pretty young compared to most people that need to go to a podiatrist. Podiatrist? How do you spell? How do you say podiatrist? Podiatrist. How do you say this? Okay, actually, don't show this on screen. Define, because it's Google.
Podiatrist.
Podiatrist. There we go. Who would have thunk it? Yeah. Who wouldn't have thunk? Who would not thunk it? Wouldn't thunk it. I wouldn't thunk it for sure. Only with its consent. Ooh. Alright, turn that off. Let's go into this. So here, what I'm working on is the custom extension stuff. I think that's fine. I think that's good. Everything seems to be working okay. So we go to here, blah, blah, everything just works, which is nice. Well, I didn't show off anything actually working, but I swear it does work. So we go to tracking, all of these load in properly, how cool. Mouse tracker just works, which is the easiest one for me to show off. So, boom. I do need to update the rest of the stuff. So, for example, remote control server needs to be converted to use a config.toml rather than a config.ini. And then, while I'm also doing this, I need to update, or I'm writing some documentation for writing your own extensions. which you can find here under this PR, which I'll drag over here. Look at that. So I'm using a VS Code extension so I can preview it, but you can also just go to the PR and preview it here. And then the idea is that all documentation will just be under a docs folder, and then, you know, I can create a wiki, blah, blah. I don't really know how to do wikis. What I do know is that they are very GitHub specific, but as long as they're in Markdown, I can actually check them in the source control like this. So that's the plan. That's the plan. And so I think looking at it now, it is kind of a big block of text, but there's not really another way around it, right? Like I could just write a tutorial for like a very basic Hello World extension, but that's not very helpful in my opinion, you know? It's better if there's a bit of functionality that goes along with it. But then if you want functionality, then you need all these other bits and bobbles. But I think it looks good, and it's pretty well commented. Some things are kind of out of order, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it goes. How to read over it seems functional? Yeah. I mean, this part is functional for sure. This part, you know, is the only remaining bit. And also, I have not been testing any of this. I've just been writing this from memory. Or not even from memory, just based off of raw syntax. So let's hope it works. So I think because I'm also just kind of writing this based off of like raw GD script syntax, it means that I can actually go through this, you know, and test it out for the first time as like a real user, a real peruser of the documentation. Yeah. So it's for realsies the first time I'm going to be checking it out. Although really the code samples, the code snippets are just copy and paste. So who cares? And actually this isn't even how vpuppr works. This is actually a bit more structured than any of the extensions in vpuppr, because it separates files out into different resources. Whereas in vpuppr, I just have the one GUI file, and then the one GUI file kind of manually loads in everything, which isn't great. I acknowledge that it's not great. But before that, we do need to update this. This is wrong. These aren't correct toml, or this isn't valid toml. So this is extension. No, actually. Extension. And then remote control. So we'll call this name. Resources. Okay, and then this just changes to tags. Yeah, and everything else is more or less the same. These change to use kebab case instead of snake case, I think. Use GUI as defaults. I don't think this is actually... I don't know, actually. Not actually sure. Selectable GUI. These should all just load in properly. Let me check. Does this work? Yeah, okay. Get selectable GUI count. So it's not called other, it's called extras. No. No. Really? What is it? What is this? Oh, it's just extra. Not extra, extra. There we go. Loads in, this breaks because this needs to be extra as well. All right, and then this fails to load in. Okay. Tried to load a model. Okay. Add GUI as default. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be, actually. No, now I'm looking at this again. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We'll have to go back to writing the docs, I guess. Fun runtime bugs. Yeah. Well, pretty much all of these bugs are runtime, right? Because I'm loading. Everything is runtime loaded, unfortunately. Let me see. Let me see. Extensions, other keys. So this needs to go into. Oh, this is the. What is this? Default GUI. Let's close this. This is just some sort of GUI. Who cares? So default GUI. And we'll open up globals. Extensions, other keys. So this actually does need to be changed, but this is actually really easy to change. So we just do extension other keys and then replace it like so. Extra keys. Hit it with a replace. That's good. Selectable GUI. Let's see. Pop-up able. Maybe this should just be called is pop-up. Okay. So match case. Is pop-up. Meow face getting extended will be added. Will you be adding support or not? I will be adding support. So there is, I don't know, what number is the month? It's 9. So it apparently is shutting down in December. So there's more than a month left. So I might as well, I guess. Why not? So once I get this merged and once I get the documentation all sorted, we'll see how hard it is to add Meow Face as a tracker. Hopefully it's going to be easier than VTube Studio. No guarantees though. Or it can pop up. There we go. There we go. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. The only slightly unfortunate part is that I only have, well, I say only have. I have a Galaxy S20 question mark. How do you see what model of phone you have? About phone. I have an S21 actually. So it should be compatible. Let me download that right now. Meow face. Meow face. The pog face freaks me out, man. The pog face freaks me out. For the app icon. Okay. So where's that config file? I had it open. Here we go. Add GUI as default. And then we'll just can pop up. Actually, do these use kebab case? Oh, they are using kebab case. So it should probably be fine. Not sure. Run me again. Run me again. Ooh, not okay. Let me see. I have an S10 and S22. I got my bases covered. Well, looking at Meowface here, while using the app, sure, you can have access to my device. Waiting for connection or click to enter PC IP, and then this just sends it to my Mirror blend shapes. I'm not really sure. Enter PC IP address. Waiting, so I connect to you, and then I can also... okay. This feels very similar to how VTube Studio works, which might take a little bit for me to figure out. Alright, so extra. Oh, this doesn't have any extras, huh? So that'll it explain why this isn't being parsed properly. Let me see. So parse extension item should actually be called parse extension resource if we're being specific. It's based on VTube Studio Protocol, as far as I know. Oh, no. VTube Studio Protocol. Well, that's just downright unfortunate, because I did write a first pass at a VTube Studio tracker thingy. I wasn't able to get it to connect though, which is kind of a pain. So I need to figure out what I'm doing here, or at least figure out how I'm supposed to connect via UDP. So I can receive via UDP pretty easily. I'm gonna turn on a fan real quick. There we go. Yeah. So for connecting to things via UDP, I'm not really sure you're supposed to do that in Godot, because it doesn't really expose a socket to the developer. So I can host a UDP server, which I'm very familiar with because that's how OpenCFace works. But VTube Studio is its own server, and then requires you to connect to that. Which I'm a bit more confused about. So I'll think about it. I'll have to think about it. A bit more testing. For now, let's fix this stuff real quick. So optional resource keys. Oh, okay. I think I can do this, right? So we can just do globals, extension extra keys. Wait. Yes. Extra? Something like that. Yeah, so that should work, which means that this is now resource keys extra, and then we're just reusing the dictionary from a few places. Cool. So this should be fine. So go back to this was default GUI. Take this out, or oh no, we can keep it here for now. That's fine. So go in here. EXT remote control, no. Okay, fine. Why is this not parsing? So for key in this thing, that's fine, that's fine. So we'll load in iFacial mocap, whatever, mouse tracker, whatever, mouse tracker lib, OpenCFace, remote control. This is what we are interested in, not GD native. And then for key in resource extra values. So, and I'm looking at this little part here on the bottom. Selectable GUI. You know what? It's because of this. Selectable GUI. There we go. These should all be kebab cased. we go. Okay. Okay. Use the entry points. There we go. Yeah, okay, cool. So it's here. We can start. We can stop it. It's beautiful. All right. Updated with impunity. That's not true. It's tentatively updated with much punity involved. What is impunity actually? Doesn't impunity imply the existence of just regular punity? And I'm not really sure what regular punity is. There's a lot of words in the English language which have like they because they exist, they imply the opposite as well. I'm trying to think of another one though. Not sure what impunity means. Basically with confidence or with finality. Isn't that what it means? Define impunity. Exemption or freedom from injury as consequences of an action? Yeah, finality. Or confidence. Yeah. Okay. I was actually slightly wrong. I'll admit that. That's not what I thought it meant. The vibe is about the same though. Really. Exemption from punishment or freedom? Yeah, that's more or less like confidence. Let's say I'm pretty confident about something if I know that I'm exempt from being punished for it. Doesn't flammable and inflammable mean the same thing? You know what? Inflammable. Flammable, inflammable. No? You know what? Now you've got me doubting. Define inflammable. Inflammable. Easily set on fire. You know what? That's it. Very true. I've never thought about that. That's actually very interesting. Yeah, and then there's even like a define flammable and inflammable, or flammable versus inflammable. So there's no difference. Both words mean the same thing, but one of them is bound to confuse most people. That's interesting. Yeah. Look at that. Gotta love English trivia. What a beautiful language. And I think unflammable isn't a real word. So you have flammable, inflammable, which uses a prefix, which mean the same thing, but using the anti-prefix, un, is not actually valid. Because I'm pretty sure you can't say unflammable. You would say flame resistance or, I don't know, uncombustible. Alright, so default GUI, that's fine. Get out of here. Extensions, that's okay. Yeah, okay, well, so we'll go back to this, writing custom extensions. I will need to go through every single one of these sub-repositories and update them. We'll get around to it. This one, you know, if you read this yourself, it's just going over how a very basic, useless extension that generates particle effects on screen. But actually, I was writing it last night, but now I'm realizing, like, how do you do that again? So particle, this needs to be a particle 2D. And it needs to use the fancy particle effect generator, aka not CPU particles, but GPU particles. Particles 2D only works when using the GLES3 renderer. Okay. On Mac OS, Particles 2D rendering is much slower than CPU Particles 2D rendering due to transform feedback being implemented on CPU instead of the GPU. Oh, interesting. literally any other OS other than Mac OS stays winning. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think I probably could just generate it at random. Right, because this is a canvas layer, which is a separate render layer. So it's not a separate viewport, it's just a separate render layer. So I guarantee that this will draw on top of other stuff, more or less. It's not the most robust system that I'm creating. But what was this called? This is a particles 2D plural. So particles is equal to particles 2D new if OS. You know what? We don't care about Mac OS. I don't even packages for Mac OS. I will add a note here though. So note CPU particles 2D should be used on Mac OS as defined in the Godot docs. Yeah, I'm doing my best as well to keep this as neutral as possible. Because as far as I understand with like technical writing, you don't want to use pretty much any tense, or not tense. What is it called? First, you don't want to use like first person, you don't want to use third person, you don't want to use second person. You just, well, third person if you have to. So several places in the documentation I say like the developer or the user. But I guess that's not really even third person, right? Because I'm not saying like, you know, the developer thinks that this is possible. I'm just saying that the developer should implement it like this. Yeah. So that the developer is not an actual character in this writing. I'm not sure if that's real technical writing though. I know that's how you're supposed to write like a business email. Is don't write in any don't write from any perspective, which I'm very good at. The architect, yes, the architect of our destruction, sterilizing the human race through use of digital avatars, virtual avatars, if you will, who exist on some sort of virtual television, some sort of tube, if you will. I first use third objective neutral omniscience. Well, yeah, well, so third person though, right? So if I were to say like the developer thinks, or the developer then writes this code, that's third person. But then if I say the developer should write this code, is that still third person, or am I just describing something that should happen? Because I don't think that's third person, but I'm also not an English professor. So does that count as third person, or is like I thought third person was more talking about like this person is like a character essentially who is doing an action, right? There's a bit of nuance between the developer writes this code and the developer should write this code. And then the developer said let there be light in dark mode. I love dark mode. It's one of the few things that I've changed on my work computer, because we're not allowed to change too many settings. But did you know you're able to pass, on Google Chrome, you're actually able to pass command line args to force it into dark mode? Had to do a lot of research on that. Okay, then we need to let's do this. Var RNG is equal to, I think it's called random number generator dot new. Yeah, right? Random number generator. Alright, and then I need a random I range. Yeah. And then there is rand I in just the global namespace, but this gives me this gives me a random unsigned 32-bit integer. And then if I want to do anything with that, I have to modulo it, which is just absolutely terrifying. Because that's something I don't quite understand. Well, no, I understand how modulo works, obviously, but I don't really understand what this is doing. Like, yes, this makes sense to me, but what the heck? We can try it, though. So, if I grab the window size... How do I grab the window size? Very sniffly today. Get window size, window size, OS window size, which is just a property, which is changing in Godot 4, which is unfortunate. So var spawn position, some sort of vector2 is equal to OS window size minus rand I. Just gotta make sure to box this up. Actually, no. What am I doing? I need rand I twice. So we do like this. I create a new vector to rand I, generate a random integer here. Oh, hold on. Oh, because it's a property, it's fine. That's fine. OS window size x rand I modulo OS window size. Dark mode forever. Yes. Unless you're presenting to business types. There's actually a pretty decent amount of developers as well who prefer light mode, which is just freaks me out. Like, I like using, if I'm working in an office, I'll use light mode. Because I guess it, I don't know. It feels like if you're a business person, in the most weird way to put it, if you're a business person, you probably use light mode, because I think Excel actually has dark mode, but dark mode in Excel is just strange. Right, and most of the business stuff that I've had to do all happened in Excel anyways. And if you're a developer, aka a turbo nerd, you use dark mode. So if you want to build up a bit of clout, you're like, oh, it's a business type, but they're also technical. What a madman. You got to use light mode in the office. Particles dot position. There we go. The terminal is set to black with green text. Nah, you gotta use Dacula. Dacula, pretty sick. Monokai, also pretty sick. Terminal, like hacker mode. I don't know. I like using. I like going into here. Just doing this is pretty fun. It freaks out a lot of people. Like, whoa, we're in the Matrix, dude. The easiest life hack to amaze your coworkers. Open up CMD and just type in tree. What's better, Python or JavaScript? Depends on what you're doing. Depends on what you're doing. I prefer Python, but I don't know. Like, if you want performance, you should use JavaScript. If you want something that will run everywhere, you should use JavaScript. New emote. Giannis laugh. I still need to get around to creating new emotes. Shut down. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Let me try it out right now. Can't you... Isn't RM a valid command as well on Windows? Or how do you do help commands on Windows? Isn't it like H? Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I don't remember. Can I type in help? Yeah, there we go. Maybe it's not RM. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. They're shut down. Let's not do anything there. I don't remember. Yeah. Oh, gee, is that a subscriber? It is. Oh baby, a new subscriber. Gifted a subscription from my last stream. It's been a while since I've had a subscriber. It makes you feel a little dirty inside, actually. Well, yeah, no, RMRF, I know that, right? On Linux, or on any bash-compatible system. Well, actually, RMRF star just deletes everything in your current directory. If you want to delete your entire system on an unprotected file system, no less. Or it's not an unprotected file system. Isn't it like the shell that catches that for you? Yeah, but how do you delete files in CMD? Is it just delete? Or del? Something like that? Alright, what was I looking at? I was looking at signals, that's right, that's right. So particles 2D. Property emitting. Restart, no. One shot, yes. Run as admin? No. Python Chan versus JavaScript Chan. Why are they both Chans? Why is there no Kun? Hello Needle Mouse, how are you? You know, I think I'm just gonna send it. Below is the code below should be placed into a file called, what did I call it? Way up here, emitter.gd. .gd. This creates a new, making my own game, make my website. Oh baby. Web design, my least favorite thing to do. You know, my high school actually had a class specifically for web design. But this is way back in the early days, like in the early 2010s. Back when web design was like a viable thing that you could do for a career. Well, web design was something that you could do as a career without knowing like all the fancy JavaScript frameworks. And creates a new particle emitter. Creates a new particle emitter when emit confetti is called. Redo the code for my game because it's a mess. I think that's all code, right? Once you start getting into the real meats and potatoes, once you're past your initial implementation, you realize, oh, you know, there's a way better way of doing this. And go back, change stuff. I know this all too well. I have 2 games that I'm just constantly rewriting. You know, I no longer like the way I did this before. All right, let's try this. So if I just go into here, so under extensions, we'll just follow my own instructions. It'll be beautiful. Retro like website. I can give you the link to the website right now. It's a UI UX designer design webinar. Oh baby, I have to attend many webinars. All right, confetti So I'm now going through my own instructions, oh baby. Super handy. I get, well, UX I'm less strong on. UI I get, that's no problem for the most part. If only because like I prefer the most Spartan UIs possible that expose as much functionality as possible. Like I know that you want to minimize clicks, you want to show as much information and as few clicks as possible, but you also don't want to overload the user, etc., etc., because the more clicks it requires to get to something, the less likely a user will be to actually use the option, right? We have burst some neon yellow on the screen, so brace yourself. All right, if you are epileptic, close your eyes. In 3, 2, 1. Actually, you can't see it. Needle Mouse's website. It's pretty good. Is there any neon yellow, or is it just because of dark mode? It is because of dark mode. Get dark moded, son. I force dark mode on every single website I use. Dark Reader is one of the few extensions I can't live without. I really like Dark Reader. It's pretty good. You have home twice, by the way. And you have also linked index and root to the same page, which is fair. Projects. Nice. Okay. Don't smoke cigarettes. They're bad for you. They give you lungs like mine. And they also, like cigarettes, do they look cool? Debatable. Do they taste good? Absolutely not. Do they make you smell like just horrible? Yes. But do they also just make me feel, I don't know. There's something very final about smoking a cigarette that I honestly I kind of miss. Very sadly. This is why you should never smoke cigarettes, kids. Like it's one of those things that's impossible to explain to someone who's never smoked a cigarette before. But like, don't do it. Because every now and then I'll still get the urge. It's like, you know what would like make me feel a lot better right now? A cigarette. Oh no. He's doing it. Don't do it. Alright, this is wrong. So we'll cast this, and then cast this. The devlog of the game I'm working on. I'm gonna log my sanity form. What? I know that lots of people like reading devlogs. That's about it. I don't really like reading devlogs, but some people are really into it. But you know, I get it. I get it, I guess. It's not really my thing. You know, I think if it's like talking about something interesting, like I was reading something about like Discord engineering and how they were migrating some, I think their LFU cache, least frequently used cache. It was written in Golang and they were rewriting it in Rust. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's interesting. And I guess the moral of the story is garbage collectors are slow. That was pretty much it. It was a really kind of a nothing read, honestly. But as someone who doesn't know what, or didn't know what an LFU cache was, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I later on had to go do an interview And then I had to implement an LFU cache. And they hated, I just absolutely hated my implementation, but you know, at least I knew what it was. Which is not always something I could say about myself. Let's start from short devlogs to a novel of how this game has made my sanity to an all-time low. Well, you know, it's a tale as old as time, for sure. Oh, did this not work? I do need to refactor this UI as well, because I know that this is not something that I've received several comments about how this UI is kind of it's redundant. So I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. What I'm probably going to do in the next release is just take out this screen entirely and then just leave it like this. And so then from here, we can still maintain the top bar. And then from the top bar, then you'll be able to switch from thing to thing. Right? So now you just kind of go from here to here. So whatever, right? And then you could have a meta page somewhere else. Let me see. What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, it was in the config.toml. This needs to be can pop up true. True, that's true. Can pop up. So which means that this will show up. Oh, I forgot to add the translation key stuff. So confetti extension, this just absolutely explodes. Invalid call. Get extension. Okay. And also, it's using not tabs, which is unfortunate. It's good to know that it still works regardless. Should I finish the game by doing I'm doing by Halloween, since Halloween, it's a Halloween themed game. Then I'll try to do stuff like non-game scripts, apps, and other stuff. Big fan of scripts. Whenever people call things apps nowadays, I always think like, oh, appetizers. Let's get some apps. I like food. I'm morphing into a normie. So we'll do this. Is error. Oh, actually I should be doing this here. Wrong place. I'll do it here. This is one of the downsides of just writing this all from memory. Is error. To load in confetti. Unable to get confetti extension. Then results is once again results unwrap load resource. There we go. So we can grab all of this, copy and paste. So this is not emitter, this is the confetti GUI. Paste all of this into here, and then we'll just send it. Yeah, I found that I like writing apps and whatever, scripts, things that aren't really games, because it's just easier to make something that feels good. If only because like games have a very specific target that you need to reach, right? It's difficult to balance out all the things in a game to make it fun, right? Like with this application, for example, vpuppr. As long as it tracks properly, who cares? But with a game, it's like, oh, The game idea is fun, but it just doesn't feel right. There's no game feel. But then how do you define game feel? You know, is it like the things that are happening on screen? Is it like the mechanics? So is it like a fighting game? So are you like, you know, are you able to like animation cancel or you know, enough iframes on whatever to make it feel fair? You know, there's a lot of things that could potentially go wrong. All right, so this is not working. Unable to get confetti extension. There we go. Is beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean very unfortunate. EM get extension. So let's actually check the extensions here. Extension. Extension. Oh, it's called confetti extension. That's right. That's right. So we changed this, and then we need to change it here as well. Confetti extension. You know, I was doing a demo today at work. And you know, this entire streaming thing is actually really good practice for doing workplace demos. But as it turns out, doing like a screen share via Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever, not quite the same latency as you get with Twitch, I think. So multiple times I just had the people were stopping me. It's like, oh, Tim, we have no idea what you're referring to. You keep saying this and that. And I was like, oh, I thought I was doing a pretty good job of like doing like the, you know, my usual like circle it with my mouse. But I guess that there was just too much latency and people couldn't see it. I've been burned by streaming. Spoiled by the latency. Let's see. 6 errors. File not found. Resource file not found. Okay. Hold on. Actually, this should be... Hold on. Hold on. Extension. So load resource. Or I guess we would just go to resources and load it like that. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so instead of that, we can do bar. Just call this emitter resource is equal to result unwrap resources confetti emitter. Oh, that's actually kind of weird. Yeah. Hold on. Just call this extension, I guess. Result unwrap. See, I'm still figuring this out as I'm going along. So extension. File. File new. I suppose it would be nice if I was able to, because this load resource is actually not totally correct. Yeah. Or it's a bit of a misnomer, shall we say. Yeah, it's a bit of a misnomer. That's fine. Load resource. This should not be load resource. This should be like load raw, and then load resource should actually be. All right, you know what? Since we're here, we might as well change it. So load resource. Yeah, this should be load raw, not load resource. Yeah, okay. So this should be load raw, and then load resource should actually load from the resource thing, right? So func load resource. So resource name. Okay, so then we can do if not resources has resource name, then extension resource not found. Why is it called extension context? Let's figure that out. Yeah, okay, so this should be extension resource not found. And I'm going to change this to this. Then we'll also do this. Then we can do var file. It's a new file handle. Get rid of this. Resource load failure. So if file open resources. Wait, hold on. So is this entry, the entry points is, entry points is relative as well. Okay, so that's fine. Context and resources, resource name, entry points. So if that's not okay, then we'll return safely error code. So this stuff will not be exposed to the user, which is fine. Or actually, no, this is fine, right? Yeah. Well, no, I can use load raw essentially. I can use load raw. So return load raw resources, resource name, entry points. Yeah, you know what? That's actually fine. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird, but that will work. So we don't need this anymore. No more load failure. So then writing custom extensions. This should be get extension. We don't need any of this stuff. Don't need any of this stuff. Instead we'll do result is equal to, or I guess we should still unwrap it, right? So extension is equal to result unwrap. Result is equal to extension load resource. Look at that. I'm able to come up with a better API just because I'm writing a tutorial. How nice. How nice. So what did I call it here? I called it confetti emitter. 2 words, which is sacrilege in terms of programming. That's fine. result is error. Unable to load emitter resource. And just early return. Okay, so then we'll grab everything here, paste that back into here, because that's basically what most developers are going to be doing anyways. Go back here. Hopefully I didn't break too many things. Remote control server. Okay, yeah, everything still works. This probably threw a few errors. Load source error, that's good. Cannot load source code from file. Failed loading resource. Well, Alright, hold on. Load source code. Is it because this is not valid GD scripts and that's why it's freaking out? Okay, so this was converted properly. This is still using... Convert indentation to tabs. Yeah, there we go. So was that the problem? It hated it? No. Cannot load source code from file. Does it need to be opened in the editor at least once? That's not a requirement, right? Yeah, I mean, that's fine, right? Yeah, no, that's not a requirement. What's going on, and why am I not able to load this properly? So load raw. Returns error. That's fine. Cannot load source code from file. Load raw. And oh man, it's actually a pretty big stack trace as well. What's going on here? So if I go, let's just load back in, whatever. Before I click on this, we'll set up breakpoints. So this is using load resource. We'll click on this button. So resource name, confetti emitter. So load raw. Oh, sorry. So results is error, right? That's fine. Sure, yeah. No, I get it. Run me one more time. So blah, blah. Step into this. So the relative path. Oh, you know what? That's not a relative path. That's a full path. That's a full path. Okay, so the entry points is a full path. Okay, that's my bad. I misunderstood how my own code works. That's not the first time that's happened. Let's load this thing. So we'll just kind of copy this code, but actually we're not really copying this code, right? But resources, resource name. Shouldn't be doing this here. Should be doing it here in this thing. So it's, oh, actually no, we should be doing it here. Yeah, see, that's the problem with big code bases. It's hard to remember how everything works. If resource is null, there's a lot of little tiny implementation details. Lots of little tiny implementation details. So I would be saved if I had more tests, but tests somewhat low priority, honestly. They really shouldn't for an application like this, because I think games, unit tests, or automated testing, low priority. Applications, it's easier to test specific functionality like this, which I'm not doing, which is very dumb of me. Okay, send me. Once more with feeling. Still running into some errors. Probably okay. I don't know. Is that a particle emitter there that I? Is that a particle emitter? Or is that just something on my screen? Did a pixel just die on my screen? No, there is a particle emitter. Yeah. So if I were to just click, yeah, there we go. Okay. So it's just not emitting particles for some reason. So how does this work? Have I just completely misunderstood how a particle emitter works? Don't you just add it and then it just runs? No? Sure, we'll look up the tutorial. 3.6 is the latest. I don't know. Give me the stable version. Stable. Particles, blah blah. Oh, do these need particle? Yeah. Particles material. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. No problem. We'll just follow this tutorial here. Who needs code completion? So particles. So particle 2D. Particles 2D has a process material. Particles process. Well, hold on. Var particles material. I don't really feel like writing my own shader. I don't really know how to write a particle shader anyways. I'm assuming it's the same as a regular shader, but it's mostly just a fragment shader, not really any vertex stuff. Where vertex stuff is where you get the really, really cool like grass shaders. Those are cool. Vertex shaders are something I still don't quite understand. Like I know what they do, right? Like modern rendering is just made up of triangles. Triangles have vertices, aka a vertex. And then the vertex shader can modify those vertices. But like, how does that work? Whereas fragment shaders, that's just like, here's a color, here's a position, figure it out. Okay, easy. No problem. No problem. Shader material. That's really it, right? Particles, process material is equal to particles material. That's fine. That's fine. Let's grab this code here. What did I grab? Everything up until note. Okay, so let's grab all this stuff. What's your problem? Mix tabs and spaces. That's fair. Convert to tabs. Alright, run me. Yeah, look at that. That's not really what I wanted it to do. But I think that's actually the default behavior for particles. Which is just for them to shoot downwards. Okay, and then there's nothing else I can really do from there. All right, so if I were to recreate that, that would be a canvas layer, and then we're just drawing a raw particle 2D on it. And then we add a process material, particles material. That's what it looks like. Okay. So what's one shot? One emission cycle. So if you one shot it, so process. Okay, okay. I don't really know how you would tell if this would turn itself off or not. Maybe what you could do is here in the emitter. So we don't need any init, but we can do process. And I guess I'll need to write some documentation of what I'm thinking I'm going to be doing here. So we can have something called like active particles. So this is somewhat inefficient. Let me be the first one to tell you that. For P in active particles, if not P emitting, right? Emitting. P dot Q free. Yeah, something like that. So particles, one shot is equal to true. Position is a random position. Lifetime doesn't matter. Randomness. Is there like explosiveness? There is explosiveness. Oh baby. Sounds like me on Taco Tuesday. I don't know what this means though. Would we just ultra explosive so everything just emits at the same time? Is that what that means? Hey. Flags, disable Z, sure. Emission shape points. Points? I don't know what this means. Points. Sphere. No gravity? Perhaps? Or it could just have 0? Okay, cool. Hold on. Wait, it is possible to generate one of these via code, so I just need to figure out how to do that. It should also be possible to just include this as a raw resource as well, but I'm not going to do that. So gravity 0, no trail, time, sure, flags, direction, doesn't really matter. Linear acceleration, I don't know. Yes. It's not really what I would consider to be a confetti. So what if you one-shot it? I guess that's kind of... Doesn't confetti go in the opposite direction? Okay. So we can set this to 9.8. Emit. Yeah, that's more or less confetti, yeah. Scale, I don't know, 5. And then the sphere radius. Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. Yeah, add a bit of randomness. I don't know, hue variation, sure, I don't know. Variation randomness, yeah. Why not? Give me 50-50 or variation, just give me 0? But then we can force it to randomize, or is that not how that works? Give me a 1 on a variation and then give me ultra random. That looks pretty good actually. That looks pretty good to me. Tangential. That's weird. I'm into it. Yeah, just give me 10s on everything. Linear acceleration, we can also give it a 10. Yeah, that looks like confetti, right? Can I make this bigger? That's probably the other thing. Visibility rect. Okay, so we can use these values here for the thing. So this should be one shot. The position is, you know, the position, whatever. The window size is something that we need to hold on to. Vector 2 is equal to OS, window size. Particles position, sure, and then also the visibility rect. I don't really get. Oh, it's because it's relocating itself dynamically, more or less. No? Maybe not. The rect2 that determines the node's region, which needs to be visible on the screen for the particle system to be active. Grow the rected particles can be grown via rect or generate visibility rect editor tool. Yeah. I think I just want this to be like a rect 0. So like particles visibility rectangle is equal to rect2 probably like 0 0. Actually, for a rect2, can't you? Yeah, you can pass in a position and a size, which is actually what I want to do. So this should be vector to 0 and then a window size. Yeah, look at that. Oh, and actually, that means we don't need to store it anymore. Okay. Cool. And then for the... Okay. This part might be honestly kind of hard to make work. I might have to just copy and paste it back in here. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So I did that. It's going to be angry with me. Rector 2. That's fine. All right, so particles, material. Particles, material. So emission shape. Emission shape is equal to emission. What is it called? Use emission shape constants for values. Check art that counts as building a duck dog. Oh no. Oh no, duck dog. Or a shape sphere. I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. What is this? Default T pose. This is art. That's true art. It even has like the toe bones and stuff, or a toe bone, or maybe that's not the toe bone. Maybe that's just like the model roots. That's not where I would put the model root, but I think I have the way that I learned how to do rigging slightly different. Because I think I was always told that like the roots of your model should be like in your butt, essentially. But maybe that's not true. But you need to have a bone sticking into the butt, and then that's your model root, because then you can base everything off of that, right? Because it's kind of your pelvis that's the core of at least a humanoid. I don't know, maybe a duck dog is not the same as a human. Don't quote me on that. So this is a particle, particles material. Oh, is it particles? Particles material. So this is emission shape sphere. Where is it? What is your problem? Mix tabs and okay. That's fine. Particles material. There we go. Hello. So what's going on today, vpuppr? This is true. What I'm doing is I am writing a tutorial because I've rewritten the extension manager to make more sense, and then also, you know, because it can be pretty intimidating to write your own extension. So I'll write a somewhat useless one as an example. It's a step above a hello world tutorial, but I'm also trying to avoid, you know, writing an actual useful extension that I'm using, right? Because if I write it based off of, like, say, the OpenC face tracker extension, because every single tracker is implemented as an extension, right? If I base it off of how I implemented OpenC face, if I ever make any updates to OpenC face, then my documentation is suddenly out of date, right? Whereas if I do it like this is completely useless, but it is somewhat complicated. But it will also never be updated by me unless I'm updating the documentation, right? Because it doesn't do anything. It just creates particles on screen, which is beautiful, but, you know, also kind of useless. That's the plan. That's the plan. I'm assuming, yeah, Kahiz, you are Demiriel, aka Callie, aka person from Discord. Let me see. So I have this working here. So this is what I want to show up. I wonder what happens if I do this. So 0, 0, and then we just, I think I have this by 16 by 9. And then this should just be like here, more or less. Yeah, that seems fine, I guess. Probably, I don't know. Gravity. I guess like gravity, there doesn't need to be any gravity. Yeah. So set gravity to just 0. Particles, material, gravity is equal to vector 3, 0. Linear acceleration is 10. Linear accel. Something that can be kind of hard about Godot when you're coming from other languages. Although, if you're coming from Python, it's actually fairly reasonable. Is that Godot will automatically convert certain values for you. So, for example, if you pass in an integer when you're supposed to pass in a float, it will convert it for you, which is not always expected. Which can be kind of tough. Can be kind of tough. So acceleration, tangential. Oh, and you know what? This visibility rect is wrong. This should be OS window size divided by 2. So like, for example here, so OS window size is a vector 2. Vector 2s are floats. But I'm dividing by an integer 2 here. So that 2, the integer 2 is automatically converted to a float. Which in a strongly typed language would be an error. But, you know, GD script. Tangential acceleration. Also 10, right? Particles, material. Tangential equals 10. But whenever possible, I prefer to use explicit typing, static typing. What do I call it? 5 and then other 5 particles, material, scale, random, 0.5. Yeah, except right here, by the way. So I wouldn't. I'm explicitly using an integer here because I'm pretty sure in Godot 4, whenever I port to that, window size now returns a vector2i, so a vector2 that contains integers, not floats. So it'll just make it easier to port whenever I get around to porting, right? Hue variation is 1, and then hue variation random is also 1. Hue variation 1.0 particles material hue variation random also 1. Something like that, and then everything can just share the same material. So in init particle material. Right, so then we can do this in init. So it's a bit nicer. So we don't need to create the same thing over and over again. Well, might as well do it the other way around, huh? Like that. Then here, like so, add child, one shot true, particles emitting also true, true, that's true. All right, so let's give this a shot. Let's get rid of this. We won't save it. I know what I'm doing. Probably. Open this up. Okay. It's so tiny on screen, though. Yeah. I don't know if that's, like, super visible, but they are there and just extraordinarily tiny. So maybe the scale needs to be, like, bumped up to, 100 or whatnot, right? Yeah. I mean, they're pretty big. They're pretty big. I don't really know why they're so small. Increase the lifespan, maybe? Well, they don't need to be, like, a long lifespan, right? Like, that's not the point. They're just supposed to be kind of, like, one-shot things as a way to demonstrate that it works, right? But I guess, yeah, we can... Lifetime, each particle... I don't know, just 3? We can increase the acceleration as well, I guess. So maybe they'll just explode a bit stronger. I'll need to copy all of this back into the documentation now. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Now they're just flashing. Maybe this wasn't the right thing to change. And also, they're not really showing up on this side of the screen either, which is weird. I wonder. Visibility rect. Should this actually be vector2 0? And so the entire visibility rect is just... No, right? Because then that means that we can only see particles from, like, one tiny side of it. Oh, no. That's fine. It's just kind of weird. And then you have particles that just kind of flash on screen. Somewhat anemically. It's interesting, I guess. It works. Are they just not living long enough? Is that it? Is that really it? Is they just don't live? Lifetime randomness? No. I mean, they have a lifetime of 3. They are also a one-shot. I don't know. How did I make this work before? Ugh, I deleted this too early. So particles 2D. Just this really quickly. So particles, material, time, lifetime 3, pre-process, no, speed scale, no, randomness, no, drawing, whatever, render priority, time, no, emission shape, sphere, flags, no, direction, no, gravity, no, initial velocity, or you know what? I'm only passing in acceleration. Right. Angle? Did I do any of these other things? Scale, I know I changed to 100, which is probably too big. Yeah, now that's huge. 5 is about the right amount. For that scale, randomness should be 0.5. Color, doesn't matter. Hue variation, just ramp that up. Why is this different now? I think I missed something. So gravity, there is no gravity. Is it orbital velocity that I needed? What did I have before? Oh geez. It's very fast. That's weird. That's weird. I'm into it. So if we just emit like that, so full explosiveness, maybe not full explosiveness, maybe just a little explosiveness, maybe no explosiveness. What is different here? Emission shape. How did I get what I had before? I thought this was fine. Maybe not. So orbit velocity, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, this is essentially what I had, right? No? Maybe not. Direction should be fine. Flags, that's fine. Damping, no damping. Angle, no angle. Animation, nope. Color, nope. Didn't do anything here. Drawing, doesn't matter for this one instance. Anything else? Textures, no textures. Yeah, that should be fine, right? And then we run this by itself. They're very tiny and they barely show up. So what's the difference? What's the difference? So this has lifetime, one shot, emitting, true, all of this stuff, true. We can take out the visibility rect just in case that's messing with stuff, but I think we do want this to be pretty big on screen. Or maybe I can just manually tweak the scale. I'm not really sure why they're not showing up here as well. We can tweak the linear acceleration I have as 50, radial acceleration I have as 50. I mean, that's pretty high. I'm not gonna lie. Scale 5, scale random 0.5, hue variation 1 and 1. Emission shape sphere, we can change that. Particles, material, emission shape, emission shape, emission radius, emission sphere radius. Something like that. So we run it like this, like so. Is it because like it's too small for me to see? So like when I'm looking at it, it should kind of look like this. Maybe that's it. It's just too small. Maybe. We can also just bump up the scale like so. So just kind of force it to be a little bigger. So particles, scale, times equals 5. Oh no. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Sackle, scale. Don't save this. Yeah, it's like they like flash on screen for a little bit. I thought this would be really easy, but I'm running into like weird rendering issues. Or maybe I can just do this with CPU particles. Which is, oh, maybe my GPU is overloaded, which is why this is like freaking out. Oh, do CPU particles not have a process material? Oh, CPU particles, you have to do all of this stuff on it. Oh. Oh. Okay. 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 So func apply properties. So target. So this is basically a union, but there's no way to define that in GD scripts. So give me this. And then I'll have to copy and paste this back into the documentation, but we'll get around to it. Don't save that. Yeah, I don't know why there's a difference between this and this. But apply properties. Apply properties, particles. Oh, this is gonna break if it's a CPU material, right? Just explodes. Interesting. CPU particles. Does this not have... Oh, CPU particles only has a vector 2 per gravity. Interesting. 3 hours on Papo as Matrix Hub and no one can figure out how to fix my laptop? Matrix Hub? Is that just like the Matrix chat thingy? What's wrong with your laptop? Is it that it cannot find a specific package? Because if it's so, I've got the thing for you. Your ISP is probably blocking a package if that's the issue. I've had that happen to me. So because they were sniffing my packets, so I had to change my repo source to a non-standard one that used HTTPS. That's the 3-minute boot time. 3-minute boot time. I have no idea. It might just be one of your drivers getting stuck. Hard to say. scale. CPU particles. Does this not have a scale? Oh, a scale amount. So we could do set scale amounts or just set scale. I don't know, it's the same thing, right? Target. Else scale amount. What was CPU particle scale? Oh, it doesn't matter. Vector to something like that. Scale random, or is this called scale amounts random? Scale, 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 scale. Turns out this is fairly hard to do. Let me see. Let's do it like this. Ba-ba. Ba-ba. So, I'm pretty sure this is still going to give me a problem. Yeah, there we go. So, this should be scale amount. What a pain. And then scale amount random. I wonder if there's an easier extension to make. That still is reasonably visible. Invalid set index scale amount with value of type set index. Is that not right? Yeah, particles. Scale amount. Oh, scale amounts and scale amount random. Those, so these are still floats. That's fine. Okay. I'm just a big dummy. Okay, see, these look better. Yeah, maybe there was just a problem with the renderer. I don't know. I have no idea. See, this looks right. I mean, this is kind of wrong because that's not really how confetti works. Confetti should be running downwards. Maybe I should actually apply some gravity instead of using vector to 0. So we can do 0, 9.8. Pretty normal. They're still running down to the bottom, which is wrong. We can turn up the gravity amount so it's, I don't know, more believable or something. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Okay, you know what? It's good enough. Let's send it. It's good enough. So we'll just use CPU particles on all systems because it's more consistent. I'm not sure why the GPU particles aren't working on my system, because I do have a pretty beefy graphics card, so that should have worked. Don't know. Don't know. So let me see. We'll grab everything here. Nope. Grab everything here. Then just kind of slap it into here. Bang, bang. And then convert indentation to spaces. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, cool. Create the confetti emitter and then creating the translation files. All right, so they're under the translations folder. Create, or not you created, create, or just under the confetti extension folder. Create a file called en.text. Inside of that file, use the following, paste the following translations. And then this one is fairly straightforward. So we're grabbing confetti extension name, confetti exclamation mark, and then we'll just fill in the rest. It's pretty easy. This is probably one of my more favorite designs because it's a good format, and the parser is very easy to implement as well. And it's, I don't know, in my opinion, more portable than using an Excel spreadsheet for this kind of stuff. Creates confetti on screen by clicking the button below. This is a secret piece of text. Smiley face. New lines are possible here. Okay, so show particle buttons text. I don't know. Spawn confetti. Is there anything else? No, that's pretty much it, right? So then if we run back to here, blah, blah, run, confetti extension name, fantastic. It did not load in properly because I did not create the file. Yep, that would do it. Okay. So confetti, new folder, translations, en.text, slap that stuff into there, boom, boom. There's confetti with an exclamation mark. Then you can hover, I think. Maybe you're not allowed to hover. Maybe this didn't actually create it properly. Did I not create this properly, actually? So usage label hint tooltip. Really? That's weird. I mean, there's the confetti, right? Which is somewhat interesting and also seems to consistently stream to the left. Not super sure why, but not really my problem either. So we can debug this. We can debug this, that's fine. Default GUI, there's confetti. Confetti. It's a label. And there is a hint tooltip, but it's not being shown. So we can actually just modify it. Or maybe you're just not able to show anything? I don't know. So no hints tooltips, but then if you go to any of the tracking things, oh no. What is this? Oh no, I broke some stuff. Hold on. No. AM, EM. What do you got? Constants, extension keys. No. Resource keys, extra. Extension missing GUI. Really? Hold on. Is this something I actually... This doesn't seem right. Hold on. If I go to resources, extensions, iFacial mocap, it's fine. Then the config INI. Oh. Wait, no. For tag is the tracker, and then if it hold on. Extension keys. Mouse tracker. Oh, it's just under GUI. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. GUI. Tracker, tracker, tracker. Or tracking. And then this actually is not stored under extra, right? Because this is a core item under extension now. Well, maybe not. Hold on. How the heck was this working before then? I'm freaking myself out. Yeah? Maybe this is under extra, but then it's just parsed as a like a regular thing. Hold on. Maybe this should be under extra, so then I'll need to go to Now that's actually somewhat confusing. Different from a root level GUI key. Describes a file that serves as the GUI for the given resource. Yeah. It's probably fine. I don't know. Send me again. I've broken... I keep breaking more and more things. Alright. So, non-existent function, load resource. Yeah. So, load resource. So now all of these things are broken. Alright, so confetti, I think that's fine. Let me just finish up writing this thing, the documentation. So change this confetti hints. And we won't put it on the label. We can just put it on the confetti button, right? Confetti button hint tooltip. Confetti hints. There we go. So that should be fine. Then I need to go back into pretty much every other thing. I'm not able to get resource hints? Or I'm not getting hint tooltips anymore? What happened? Because I know that for these... No, see, I'm getting hint tooltips for these. But then... No, I'm also getting hint tooltips for those as well. Is something happening here? Hint tooltip. Mouse tracker, that's fine. We don't care about this. This is fine. I'll need to go back through this extensions document and also update that. What's going on? So why is the GUI all kinds of messed up? Hint tooltip, hint tooltip. Yeah, it's called a hint tooltip, is it not? And then we're translating it. Yeah, it should be fine. Confetti hint. And then even if it's not valid, it should still, you know, give me some garbage. Not sure what's going on there. Anyways, this is mouse tracker on toggle tracking. Load resource. Where's load resource? EM load resource. All right, I changed this. Okay. EM. Oh, this should be. This changed too much stuff, which is unfortunate. That's why. Load resource, load raw. So we can also do get extension load resource, which would work as well. But I think I just accidentally changed too many things when I was doing the find and replace. So this should work. Yep, that works. Close that. I wonder if it's just like confetti that's like nuking some stuff. It's weird. Or maybe I'm just not able to hover. No, see, this works. This works. You're able to get the hovers. Why am I not able to hover under... Oh, is it because I'm not updating it here? That wouldn't be the first time I've made that mistake. Yeah, you know what? That's almost certainly it. GUI. Hit with the old copy and paste. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm just dumb. Ignore me. Yeah, look at that. So that's basically how you do it. So if you're pulling the latest code from GitHub, that should just work more or less. All of it's copy and paste. I'll need to add some documents on translations, but or creating the channel. I guess here I can do a small thing. No, you know what? I'm not going to explain it here. I think it's better just to explain how translations work under a separate piece of documentation. But I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to delete confetti because we don't need to have that's stored anywhere, right? And really all it is just doing copy and paste. So you do stuff here, do some stuff, paste it back, whatever. All right, I actually brought back confetti because I got nervous. Would you like to undo create translations? No. Yeah, that's fine. We can delete it. Because I did update all of this stuff, right? This stuff is all updated. I didn't delete anything I shouldn't have. I mean, let's run through it one more time just in case. Because I did make a few changes. So confetti config.toml. Then here, we'll just grab all of this stuff. And then I'll just redo it. If something is found wanting. So this is called confetti GUI. Confetti GUI.gd. Grab all of this stuff. Don't copy, or don't cut, just copy and paste. And then emitter.gd. Give that a save. New folder, translations. This will create a translation file for all English locales. Please reference the I-18, or just reference I-18 for the relevant language codes if translations other than English are needed. So I have no, I didn't. Oh, I added translations in the wrong path. Classic translations, en text. So run into here, blah blah. Didn't load in, that's good. Fantastic. Gotta love it. What happened? What happened? What happened? Eh? Ooh. No confetti? Did I change something that I shouldn't have? Oh no. Now we gotta figure it out again. I deleted it too soon. I'm pretty sure I can still find it in my recycle bin. I can, yeah. Alright, hold on. Undo me. Then I need to look inside of my recycle bin. Restore me. Should be fine. So then we go here. Bum bum. There's confetti. What the heck changed? I have no idea what I changed. That is so weird. But okay. We'll grab all of this stuff. I'll just copy and paste it. Nothing is different. Confetti.gui. Probably nothing different. I don't really know. Thinking is hard. config.toml. Oh, wait. Oh, can pop up. Yeah, okay, sure. Then emitter is the last one. And I'm pretty sure I have everything I need here. Yeah. Yeah, this is the same. I was just missing a single tag. And then also need to remember to translate all of these over. So entry points, translation key, GD native, and then can pop up. Okay, so now we'll delete everything. It's fine. What else? What else? What else? What else? Anything else that needs to be done? I don't know. I'm just gonna send it. I'm kind of past caring at this point, which is not something that you want to hear someone say, but I said it. So it's the tests, tracking, test extension. Well, hold on. Before we do any of that stuff, run the tests. Oh no. Load resource. All right. Once more. All right, it's beautiful. All right. Good thing I ran the tests first. Oh, and then I need to go into all of these. So resources, extensions, iFacial mocap. Oh, I think these are actually wrong. Yeah, these are actually wrong. So this should be get. Oh, let's get restore this. Oh, iFacial mocap. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Git push vpuppr. Think I'm allowed to do that? Yeah. Mouse tracker. Oh, mouse tracker shouldn't be added. That's right. OpenCFace. I think this needs to be get restored. Get diff. Yeah, it does need to be restored. Get restore. Push vpuppr. Get pull. And then remote control server is the last one. All right, and then this one has several things that are wrong. Okay, once more with feeling. Git restore, remote control GUI. Git add all, git status, git commits. Use toml for config. Oh, I don't have a vpuppr upstream for this. Okay. Let's do that really quickly. Remote control server. Git remote add vpuppr. So this is using my SSH key. But otherwise, these are all stored as some modules using HTTPS. which means is if you don't have an SSH key set up, you can still pull it, but you just aren't allowed to push. And I think, doesn't Git also require you to use an SSH key anyways? I feel like I remember that being a thing. Git pull. Finish doc for writing custom extension. Refactor some extension methods. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Git push. And then I'll just we'll just merge it. Whatever. So only 4 commits. Or did I not push this? Okay, this should be fine. Probably. Requires a key to log in to Git. You can still clone or pull repos. What do you mean log in to Git? You don't log in to Git. You can push to Git. Is that what you mean? It requires a key to push. And I think HTTPS is always rejected at this point. Oh no. This branch has conflicts that must be resolved. Huh? What happened? Oh, is one of these still using, hold on. Resources, extensions, iFacial. No, that's master, that's fine. Open cpace. That's fine. Remote control server? No, that's fine. Eh? What do you mean? How is there a conflict? How is that even possible? iFacial mocap tracker. Yeah? Git rebase master. Yeah. Git checkouts, refactor, use toml. Okay. That's weird. I think I just forgot to rebase. Possibly. Yeah, I just forgot to rebase. Alright. So we'll just send it. Hooray for documentation. Refactor extension manager. Send it. Delete branch. Git checkout. And git pull. Yeah. Oh, git checkout. Master git pull. Yeah, there we go. Cool, 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 cool. So I said I would work on the Meowface stuff. I'll just work on that tomorrow. Turns out this is more difficult than I thought it would be. You know, been programming for a million years and I still underestimate everything. Even though I feel like I'm already overestimating them. But so it goes sometimes. So it goes. Yeah, we can still run this stuff and this should be fine. Right? So we run this. Everything works as expected. Wow, phenomenal. Wow. Cool. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, working on probably implementing the Meow Face. I do need to fix a few bugs as well, so we'll do some bug fixing. We'll implement more trackers. I need to implement the blend shape stuff, right? Because now that we have the remote control server, we can now have toggleable blend shapes, etc., etc. Because I also have those stored on the model, so all the infrastructure is there. I just need to hook everything up. But yeah, follow me on Twitch, join Discord, give me a star on GitHub. Here is the project, free and open source. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.